Oh yeah, Rattata's dead. It gets caught into the Pokédex and added, so it's kind of cool. So of course it says bites anything when it attacks. Now this is a different set of Pokédex because this is leaf green. So of course it's like new information on Rattata. Then of course it says bites anything when it's attacked. Small and very quick. It's common. It's a common sight in many places. So it's interesting. It's more of a city type Pokemon also, so it makes the things interesting. So of course, it's like, do you want a nickname for your Rattata? And of course, she does. And she ends up nicknaming her. She's like, you got, you know what I mean? She looks at me and she's like, She's like, Stefan, you got mangs, you know what I mean? You got mangs and fangs. I'm like, yeah, and she's like, I'm gonna name her Nangs, of course. Then it's like sinks in, boom. And it's like, do you want to know information about the new rat that you caught? Of course. And then it's like, boom. And of course, she's naughty. Super text. So of course, Fangs was being around Nangs. She was naughty. Now the thing that's gonna be bad and it's gonna end up happening, and it's gonna be heartbreaking, is that eventually it's gonna be the spoiler. Of course, I might as well let you know the spoiler so I can know ahead, like while it's in the moment. Um, we send Nangs. You know what I mean? Well, Mangs is down there, but of course we send Nangs and Fangs. Like, she sends it, like she sends her over to me, and it goes to my terrain world, and of course, Nangs ends up Nangs and Fangs end up messing with Mangs. So like, you know what I mean? Of course, it's what rats would do anyway. They multiply. They like to multiply. So of course, in this instance, we keep going down a little bit more, and this wild Manakee comes out. So it gets interesting, and everybody's like, "Oh, welcome to Manakee." Da 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 da. And they're like, "Yeah, yeah." Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, "Yeah." So of course, the thing that ends up being wild is we end up battling and all that, and she ends up, she doesn't know what to do with it because we never seen a Manakee. But so of course they're like, what is that Pokemon? And of course Pokédex put the Pokédex to it. Manakee. Da-da-da-da. Manakee. You don't have Manakee. We do not know any information of this Pokemon yet, though. Yeah, I mean it's just funny. It's like Manakee. We don't know any information of this Pokemon yet. So of course it starts moving around. Moving on its legs, its feet, like doing cartwheels and stuff, moving around and all that. So of course she's like, okay, splendid. This one likes to move. Use tail whip on it. She doesn't know what to do with it yet, so of course she does tail whip. First, he ends up looking at her and she's like, boom. They're like, what is that? And of course, one of them's on it. Maz is on it in the background for once. And, well, I'd say Daz that time. And he's like, Leer attack. Of course, everybody's like, Leer. Then, it's like, I mean, the Pokédex says it again. Like, it's like the Pokédex responds to him. It's like when Leer's used, it lowers the Pokemon's defense. So of course it's like boom, dun-dun-dun. So they're like, oh. So it's like they're like, oh, like everybody's like, oh. And then Spot's like, like she gets her thing in her mind, and then she's like, so there's something that lowers defense besides Tail Whip. Everybody's like, oh, boom. You know what I mean? And then Splenda, so he's like, we're not having this. Splendid bubble. Of course, she does bubble and all that. Boom, the bubble hits. Makes the Manakee get a little agile and more, hyped. Starts moving around and all that stuff, and starts to, in this instance, they can move on trees and stuff if they're in that type of terrain too. So they starts moving around, jumping on trees and all that, and just yeah, like we're not having it like the Pokemon just stay still in one area. No, no, no. So like this, Maneki moves around, does jumping on trees and stuff, and ends up you know scratching, and then it bounces back, sitting there jumping up, moving around, waiting for another attack. So she does bubble again. Of course, it does happen, and boom, the Manakee just starts slowing, slowing down. Like you see it, like it starts moving around. It grabs, like palms the ground, and it's like like you know what I mean? Like dang, like it got hit by the bubble, and it's moving around, but it's not moving around as fast. So of course the Pokédex clicks in, and it's like her Pokédex clicks in, and it says bubble. Bubbles effect has been activated, and of course it's like when Bubbles, when Bubbles hits critically, it may reduce or lower the opponent's speed. Boom. Splendid's like, yeah, that's awesome, Splendid. With your moves and my moves, if we can lower our opponent's speed, we can be unbeatable. And it's like, Splendid's like, square up, She says it like a female. Not, they can't be the same. I want when she gets it further along and she meets up with Ash's Squirtle, or if it happens, or she meets up with the other three that have Infernape, Torterra, and Squirtle, and Charizard, and Blastoise, and Venusaur, all of them, all the other sets of other threes. I want to make sure her Squirtle stands out when it says Squirtle. It doesn't say the same Squirtle noise. Like, I just would love the little bit of effort. Like, that makes so much happiness for children, also. And for, adult fans, also. But, of course, she throws the Pokeball. And she ends up catching the Manakee. So, of course, the data gets sent to the Pokédex. Of course, it says, light and agile on its feet, it's ferocious in temperament. When it's angered, it flies into an uncontrollable frenzy. And it's like, do you want to give a nickname to the captured Manakee? And she just was like, thinks about it, and she's like, And of course, in the sense of that happening, Daz is like saying to her, like, you and Splendid were surely in your prime. There, Like, you and Splendid were surely in your prime, lowering that Manakee's speed. And then she's like, that's it. And of course, she names him Prime. I know, it's wild. It's insane. So of course, he's a lonely type Manakee. So he was one of the Manakees that were, in his tribe in this grassland that was bullied and exiled. Well, she finds that out, and of course, we find out also as like when she finds out the information in nature, it's like this Manakee's lonely. You know what I mean? Of course, Pokédex can say this. Also, there's an add-on. It'd be kind of cool. So if this is optional, if it says like you met the Manakee at Route 2, Route 23, or Level 3. The only way that it says that, like the bottom sentence, is if like the trainer happily says like, I wonder where I met Manakee at, or where we met. That's when the Pokédex will just it's a high tech, like the professor did it, like So of course he finds out, like, Maniki's abilities, vital spirit. Like with its ferocious energy and temperament, it cannot fall asleep, practically. So she finds out that it knows scratch and lair also. Maniki's moves are scratch and lair, of course. I'll just add into the little note of saying it. So, in this instance, with all of that, we're all excited. But the excitement cuts off. Why? Because out of nowhere, in the trees, comes flying down